Hey everybody, this is Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministries coming to you on a pre-recorded video. This is take two. So I was trying to do the thing where I could look at you and talk to you and then put my camera down. I was thinking I could do that on a pre-recorded video. I was thinking I figured out how to do that last year, but now all of a sudden I can't. So I don't really know what happened with that. But anyway, so it is February the 14th, Valentine's Day, 2026. I know it's basically over because it's here. It's 10 o'clock at night. But I had already cut out a bunch of cards that I was going to work on and make for y'all last night. I didn't get to because something weird's going on, weird and wonky with the lives. I don't know. You know, it had been like a year since I had done a live. And now it's like they're not posting right away. And they're making me go into YouTube Studio and make all these adjustments. Well, I've been into YouTube Studio like 3 times to fix this stuff. But every time it's making me do it. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that out before I do any more lives. But it seems like my videos get more views anyway. Well, but we shall see. So, I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I make cards, junk journals, other paper crafts. I love doing paper crafts. And I've started dabbling a little bit in watercolors. I'll have to show y'all a watercolor that I did last spring. I made it for my mom for her birthday. And, of course, she passed away like 10 days after that, something like that. So anyway, but it turned out really pretty. I was surprised. So I dabble in watercolors as well. This is my Facebook page. Please go find me there and subscribe to my channel or follow me there. If you have any questions, you can text me at this number. Let me know what you need and I can text you back and then we can arrange to talk. Or you can email me at Kim's Creations. Kim with a K, Creations with a K. kimscreations.cards@gmail.com. And if you're watching me, then you're on my YouTube channel. So that's great. Please like and share, thumbs up, share, comment on my post. I think when I upload these, it is allowing the comments. So, and I will try to upload this before I go to bed. And again, I apologize for doing late Valentine's, but I still have so much left in this paper pack. This is just a few of the pages that were in the paper pack. And I have so many pieces left, and I want to use some more of them. And I already had papers cut out to use more of them. So I'm making at least one more video, maybe 2. And I am going to use one of the cards is going to be not a Valentine. So I think I figured out something I could do with at least one of the things to make it not be a Valentine. And I'm sorry I've got this congestion going on. It's like I have it for like 6 months out of the year. Once it gets warm and the sun goes out and all the molds and stuff go away, then I'll be clear for a little while. But right now I'm not, and I apologize for the sniffling. All right, so let's get started. So I've got this one. Oh, I did one yesterday that was this design as well. No, I haven't done one. I did do one that had a cut off, but not this particular one. So this one's going to have like a little mini card on top. It's going to look like this, and I am using this cutout right here, but I had to cut it down a little bit in order for it to fit on my little card. I think I've already cut that. No, I haven't cut it yet, but I have it cut out. So we're going to use this piece from that, and this is Highland Heather. I'm going to use this same little heart that I've been using in my other videos. It came from With You in Mind, which is a current stamp set, and the Happy Valentine's Day, this one, which came from the B set, Be My Valentine right here. I would be surprised if we keep this. I think we've already had this a couple years. I'll be surprised if it sticks around much longer. Just putting that out there. And then also the punch that comes with it, that's a combo with that set. I'll be surprised if it stays around, but I'm keeping it because I love the hearts that are in it. So anyway, so this is the card. So you'll need a regular 8.5 by 11 paper. You'll cut it in half at 5.5 and then score it at 4 1/4. And I believe I cut one for y'all yesterday and I showed you you have to put it in your trimmer. Now I need to double check what I'm wanting to cut because I think the other card I did was different. The other card I think I cut here. No. Oh, it was a long card, and so I cut it differently. So this one, we want this top piece to be gone. We're wanting to cut off that. So we're gonna line up this in the trimmer. Let me get my light over here a little better. And the bottom corner in the trimmer. And I have to stand up so I can make sure I get it lined up because it's too far away for me to see. Pretty sure I got it at the top and the bottom. Move the scoring tool. So we'll cut this off. And I'll need to burnish that a little bit better. So this will go in scrap bin. And then this little piece, let's see if I did it correctly. So this little piece is 7 inches long, and I scored it, so it's 7 from here to here. I scored it at 3.5, and then the width of it is 2 3/4. So it's 2 3/4 by 7. You score it at 3.5. And then I've got a regular inside piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. That'll get glued in right here. A little tiny piece to go inside of the tiny one, of the tiny card. It is 2.5 by 3 1/4, and it'll go right here, but I'm going to stamp on it first before I do anything. Now this piece, in order for it to fit on the front of my card, I am going to have to trim a tiny bit off of both sides, and it won't be centered perfectly because I wanted this piece to be a little bit long. I didn't want it to be a square. I wanted it to be a rectangle. So I made this piece a little bit longer so it's not like perfectly centered. Now you can use this side, but I used this side and just wrote the Your Extra Special myself because I didn't want the to and from. This, again, these are meant to be little tags to put on treat bags. And so I'm cutting mine. I'm going to still cut it the same, but I want this to be the front that shows, and I'll just write that in there myself. All right, so let me do the cutting for this. So this one is, I won't cut anything off the top and the bottom. It's only just going to be off a little bit off of each side. So it is 2 1/2. So I need to cut, and these are 3 inch squares, so I need to cut 1/4 inch off of each side. Okay, I'm going to come down here to do it. I'm pretty sure this is at least partially. Move some of these stamps, and I can get it up there a little bit maybe. I'm in there a little bit, so I'm going to cut off 1/4 inch on each side. There's 1/4. And then 1/4 inch over here, and that will be a nice little fit to go on the front of that. And I will probably just go ahead and write on the front of that. I can find the marker that I used. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. Most of them were right here next to me. That one had kind of drifted away. So just writing it the best that I can. Your Extra Special. And I'm going to try to go up a little bit higher than I did on this first one. Okay. Woo, cat hair. Y O U you are your X STRAW. I'm going over it a little bit. That's okay. Special. SPECIAL. Your extra. I'm going to put an exclamation point right there. Okay. And so, again, the retired purple bow, but I'm still using it. And again, I don't know if y'all heard me say, you can use whatever you have, y'all. I mean, sure, I'd love for you to buy stuff from my store so I get credit for the purchases, but I understand too that sometimes we've got to make do with some of the things that we have. And if you have some purple embroidery floss, use your purple embroidery floss, you know. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the Happy Valentine's Day using the Gorgeous Grape. I'm hoping I'm still in the screen here. Let's move these up here. All right, there it is. Now, Gorgeous Grape works a whole lot better than the I swear I see a hair. works a lot better than the Highland Heather, which I think I need to re-ink it. And just so I can add a little pop of pink to this one, I am going to use Stampin' just these little flirty flamingo hearts. And this tiny heart came from the bee stamp set. And I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo for that. And I just kind of going to go around the design a little bit. I definitely need to re-ink this. Okay, kind of a triangle shape as a general rule there. So this is ready to be glued into there. This is ready to be glued on top of here. That and that. This will be glued inside here. Now I did stamp some hearts across the bottom, so I think I'll do that. I must have used Highland Heather to stamp that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use the grape just because I know my, well, I'll do one real quick. I'm pretty sure my Highland Heather is needing to be re-inked. Let's look here. Yes, pretty, that's compared to this, that's pretty pale there. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Gorgeous Grape. And so I'll stamp, I think I did 5. And I'll start with the one in the center. Look, make sure I'm in the camera. I am. Hallelujah. I'm in the screen. Or at least my card is. I don't know if my stamp pad is. I'm going to lean over a little bit, y'all, so if my head gets in there. I'm sorry. 1. Actually, this is kind of, maybe I did use Gorgeous Grape. Maybe it needs a little bit of love too, to get it a little darker. I'm trying to stamp these as straight as I can. It is hard when it's a little bit far away from me. Yeah, came down a little bit on that one. I did pretty good with the rest of them. And I might have went this far a little bit too much, but that's okay too. These are homemade cards. These are not store-bought, but they're every bit as pretty as the store-bought cards. And I'm going to put one on the back of my card as well. And I think I'm going to need to do an envelope. I'm sure I need to do an envelope. I have one in my package over here, but I'm pretty sure that was the one that went with this, the one I already made. So actually, yeah, go ahead and do one of these. Wait, I'm using Highland Heather. No wonder. It was light. I'll just keep using it. I was thinking I had switched over to the grape, but I did not. All right, so we'll put him right here on the front. Yeah, I remember I did use this now because I said it almost had like a little blue tint, a little bit of a blue tint to it. All right, and then I'm going to use my green, garden green, on the envelope. I don't know why, because the card doesn't have any green in it, but I think it just looks pretty. And this leaf also came out of the with you in mind. I had also been using one out of an old set that I really liked because it was a thinner, skinnier leaf, but hey, you know, it's all right. This is that stamp that's horrible. Not the stamp, the block, and I can't hardly see through because my block is so scratched up. This block, I'm going to try to clean it again, and if it doesn't clean, it might find itself in the trash. I think I picked up a cat hair. I don't know if I did or not. All right, let's try again. Kind of feeling like my garden green needs to be inked up because it was doing a whole lot darker than this the other day. And I know I closed it up. And again, I don't care if these run off a little bit on the envelope. The stamp doesn't have to show completely. That's not a problem. Especially on the envelope. And you get a good bit of it. And you get my little smudge. Alright, so envelope's ready to go. So, okay, one more little thing of stamping. We need to stamp the front here. So we'll have a little bit of our own designer paper going on. And stick to the Highland Heather. And I'm going to go down this edge first while I've got the card open. And so again, I may get in the view, and I'm sorry if I do. But you know, it'll be kind of like paper being cut, sort of, so they're going to be, you know, offset just a little bit each time. I'm trying to do it kind of even. It might not be perfect, but it'll be pretty good. I actually set that one down too fast and got it out of whack, but that's okay. Now I'm going to close it because I don't want that on the other side. Let me put this down here. Let's use my bone folder on the edge. So, I think I told in my last video about how I've been having to take an antibiotic because my dog bite me. He's old and he doesn't like me messing with him anymore. He doesn't like me giving him medicine. And so one day when I was trying to give him his medicine, he bit me and my thumb got all infected and nasty and it hurt like heck and it was hot on fire with infection and I had to go on a strong antibiotic, and that strong antibiotic made me pretty sick. Well, I thought I was over it, but apparently I wasn't, because I got sick again late yesterday afternoon, and I was up sick a lot during the night last night. And I had to go to work today, and I don't work that many hours a week, and I need to work. And so it was kind of upsetting. I ended up being in bed most of the morning because I felt so awful because I would have been sick so much. But I managed to get through my work day somehow. All right, so this card is basically finished. We just need to glue it all together. Oh, I didn't think about trying to find my glue refill again. Alright, so it's going to go right here. A lot of times I'll use my bone folder to try to smooth that down. I think my page here is pretty clean, so all right, now we got to glue these pieces. I'll start with this little inside one. Okay. I think this is a really cute card, and it's especially because of it having the straw thing. Well, I know a lot of people are like big on these new straws, and they're getting different straws for their Yetis and their Stanleys or whatever cups that they buy these days. Here's a new one. I can't remember what it's called. Starts with a B. And a girl I work with has one. She was showing it to me tonight. I really liked it because I like the way it seals up and it's easier to clean than the Yeti is. And the Stanley too, really. You can buy your own special straws now to go with these and stuff. So I thought that was interesting. So this would be cute. You could just like give it with a straw. I'm giving this one with a gift card to Starbucks for one of my daughters. Oops. All right. And I know it's not going to be the same from top to bottom as it is on the side, so I'm trying to center it as best I can. There we go. Yay! All right. And then the trick to getting this in the right spot on the front. I do have both of the kitties are in here. One is up here in a box. That's Sophie, and one's just sitting over here next to me in a box. They like being in a box. So you want to put it in here about half, the same distance on each side, which is about a ½ inch of the white. And you don't want it to come down too far because then it won't work. It has to be able to flap over this. Now you could pull it down really pretty far if you wanted to, but I usually, again, allow a little bit at the top. So I want to put it about a ½ inch from the top and a ½ inch from each side, and that should give me plenty of room over here. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I think I had all that in the camera. I did. To stand up and check. And again, you want to make sure that this piece gets put on there pretty good. I'm going to stand up, so I'll try not to get my head in the, but I want to try to get it centered pretty well, about a ½ inch from both sides and from the top. On the white, ½ inch of the white. Push down real good there at the crease, and so a little bit squeezing out, but I can kind of get that with my finger. that should be it right there. And I just need to put my bow on it, and that'll be it. And I'm not going to do that right now because I just did a bunny ear bow and I put it on with glue dots. But they're time consuming to do, so I'm not going to do that. But here's my envelope. So this card is finished. Yay. All right, next card is a blue, an Azure Afternoon. And it's going to be this card, which is going to be another one of these easel stands. And it's got this little, I did a little tag thing with it. My sinuses are really doing a number on me. What colors do I need? I need the red and the Flirty and the Azure Afternoon in my inks. All right. Cut your 8.5 11 piece at 4 1/4 and score it at 5 1/2. Do not score this piece yet. Okay, at the top. Actually, I think on this one I just stamped the top half, so you could go ahead and score it. And I believe this one I scored. This one I scored at 2 1/2 right here. I'll do that now, actually. You'll need your piece for the inside, which is going to be 4. I made that too big. It's supposed to be 5 1/4. I got it 5 1/2. Hang on. Sorry about that. I thought I did these right, but I must have not done. I think I probably did the first ones, and then the second ones I didn't do the 5 1/4. I just left them at 5 1/2 or whatever. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4. So it's going to go in here. Then I also have a piece that is that right? Yes. So this piece is 4 by 4 by 3 1/2. This is going to fit on this. That's 4 1/4. 4 by 3 1/2. And then we're going to use this little piece from, where'd those papers go? From this sheet. And I don't think I have that cut out. I was thinking I did, but I don't guess I do. All right, so let me cut that out. And this one I will not trim up. I will leave it at with the 3 by 3 because I've made that other piece of paper large enough for it to fit without me having to trim it. And I'm sorry, I know these are not showing up on camera good. I apologize. Alright, so we'll do that. Make sure I think I trimmed it pretty good. I'll move these over here out of the way. Back to the paper pack. Put these back in my paper pack. I'm trying to. So I'm trying to use up a lot of these scraps that I made. So I went through my little container and pulled out a bunch of the scraps. Alright, so this piece is 3 1/2 by 1 1/2. This is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I will be stamping Happy Valentine's Day across it. And then I also have this just little scrap piece I'm going to put here, and I'll punch a heart out of this if I didn't already, which I'm thinking I must not have. Alright, and I think that's everything that I needed to cut. Alright, so I need to stamp. I need to stamp blue hearts on this. I need to stamp blue hearts up here. Oh yeah, I need to score this. And I need to stamp red on the inside. Okay. Let me get, oh, and I gotta cut out that other little thing. All right, let me score this at, I think I said I scored it at 2 3/4. 2 1/2. Scored it in 2 1/2. 2 1/2. Let's score this. Okay, and then I need to cut out that little tag. I need to cut this little tag out. So I'm going to cut this whole strip down. Try to get it lined up with the little channel of your cutter, your paper trimmer. All right, got that. And then get this one. And this one. And I think I got that pretty good. All right, here we go. It's got that and that. All right, now and I scored this. Okay, here we go. All right, and so we're gonna need to clean off my little my big heart that I've been stamping with, because I think I used a purple with it a minute ago, and I'm going to be using a blue now. So let me do this. Okay. And we are going to be stamping the top part of this with the blue, the Azure Afternoon. And I'm going to leave it like that. And I kind of turned these different directions, but still kind of kept them straight up when I did those. There's a little piece of fuzz or something on there. I'm going to try not to put my stamp in that. Alright, so I'm going to do here, and here, and here. Here. Uh-oh. That one might mostly be covered, but alright, I'm going to stick my head over this, y'all, and try to get it in the same place. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little better, but it's still not great, but that's okay. Like I said, I think a lot of that's not going to show. All right, I'm going to flip this up. These are basically not going to show. Okay, so there we go. And then on my white piece, I did a couple things with it, but we'll start with this. So with this one, I kind of did it so that they went around and turned with the page. So there was like 3, 3, 3, 3. So I did them like that, not with this piece. It's with the smaller piece. Okay, and it goes like this. All right, and I wonder if y'all can tell what else I did to that piece of paper. See, these are, well, I know why they're coming out. I must have stamped off with these because they're much darker, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. The way all the cards are a little different, right? Not the same. They're all a little different. But you can see when I stamp, and then I stamp off. It's a lighter shade, and I'm pretty sure that's the lighter shade. I could be wrong, but I think it is. All right, so I'm going to bring in a blending brush, which this one is messed up, but I don't think I ever tried to wash it after it got kind of messed up. But so I'm going to try to just tone the white down just a little bit on this. And when you do this, if you immediately go onto your card, you're going to have an extra dark space. So I come over there on the scrap paper and take a little bit of the color off of my brush first. Little kitty is watching me over here. She is watching. She's interested in this brush. Ivy, of course. I love this cat. She's a mess. Again, it doesn't really matter much about the middle because it's not going to show. Envelope. Let's just do a few things on my envelope here. This one. I'm going to do more with this in a minute, but for now, and my watch is over here beeping at me. Okay, for now, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to set the envelope aside because I'm going to add another color to the envelope. Let's see. So now I need to stamp this, and I did red, and I think I stamped off on the red at the top there. Oh, let me close my blue. Okay. Hello, Ivy. Oh, her eyes are actually closed. I think that's what I did. So, it's got something on it. Here it goes. I should probably use my chamois here. Get the blue ink off a little better with the chamois. Okay. And make sure. Yeah, okay. All right, red. This is real red. And we're going to put it in the middle. And then that's not very dark. What in the world? Is this real red? It is not. It is sweet sorbet. Oh well. I'm going to just do all three of them in sweet sorbet. I don't know how I picked up the wrong red. I remember pulling this out now, which it's actually almost the same as that. I remember pulling this out now. I'm going to set it back in its spot so I don't do that again. Where did it go? Where does sweet sorbet go? It goes right there with my inks. All right, now I will use real red to stamp my sentiment there in the front, and I think I'm gonna stamp wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. Go. Oh, I need to keep my red out for my envelope. So that was it. And I need to stamp my Happy Valentine's Day on this. Okay, and my Happy Valentine's Day is from the one I used on this is an expired stamp. From this old country bouquet, and I had already done this. I don't know if that other one would fit on here, and I had already, well, it does fit. I could actually use that one, and then I'm not using something that's expired. I'll do that. I don't want it quite in the middle though. because I put this, see how it fit just right, and I put that off to the edge. So I'll do it off a little bit. I'm sorry if my head is over this again, but put it there. There we go. All right, and then for my envelope, I'm using my tiny heart again, which I think I used in the purple, maybe. I don't remember if I did or not. I'm going to use my chamois to clean it a smidge just in case. Okay. All right. And something dirty. Bring back in my envelope. Where'd you put it, Kim? Miss Kim. Oh, I already laid it here. So I'm going to do a little heart on either side of the bigger heart. Right here. And here, and then on the front as well. And the other day when I did, and this was the focal point, and on the front of the card, I made like a little balloon heart on the front of the card for that one. So this one will be a little different. Okay. So envelope's done, set it to the side. I think we're ready to glue it together again. So we're doing pretty good. I'm going to glue, glue, glue. We will glue this inside first. Oh, I want my little sanding thing. My little sanding block. I didn't stamp my blue heart on the back. I forgot. Oh well. Okay, let's do glue. Ooh, I didn't put my lid back on. I hope I haven't lost it. That will not be good. So I'm like, I think I was down to my last one. And I have canceled my Amazon subscription to order more of those little lid things, the tips, and the special pins that you put in them that don't get rusty. So I either need to spend enough money on Amazon to not have to pay the shipping or subscribe again. So I had subscribed, like, I canceled it. My mom and dad had it. Mama liked watching the movies on Amazon, so I had it for her, and I used her subscription, you know. But then when she passed away, I had to cancel all that stuff, so I didn't have it anymore. Well, there was some point, I think it was like November, and I was wanting to order some stuff off of Amazon for Christmas. And so I subscribed, and plus I wanted to watch some of the Christmas movies that were on Amazon. But then after Christmas, I canceled my subscription. So I don't watch a ton of TV, so I don't really need it for the movies, except for certain times of year maybe. And then but it is nice when I need to order some things that get the free shipping. All right, and then I'll glue this down on the edge here. It's a little wider than I wanted it to be, but it works. Putting right here. Slide it up a little bit, try to get it even. All right, there we go. And then I need to punch a little heart, a tiny heart. I want to get it mostly out of this red. I don't think it's not going to fit there. I want to get it mostly in the red section right here, though. There we go. It's mostly red. I probably do what I have been doing. Yeah, and I'm going to do that now. Oh, I wish I could find my pen. I don't know what I did with it. Oh my goodness. I don't have any idea. Oh, found it. Good. Found it. I'm going to stick it on there because get my cherry cobbler marker here. and just color this thing. And that way any of the little white or pink spots are no longer white and pink, and it's a solid color heart. I am going to let it dry for a second though, because then it does get all over your fingers. So I'll let that dry for a second, and I'll start gluing some of the stuff on the front. I can glue, okay. I dripped. The alcohol marker dripped just now when I opened it, apparently. I need to put some dimensionals on this. Get to them in this drawer over here. Move everything. Alright, I'm going to have to start a new package, I believe. I've almost finished this one off. Alright, so I want to put dimensionals on the bottom, which right now is at the top. So, double check that. Yeah. So, I'll put quite a few at the bottom. No, Ivy, you stay over there. No, oh, no, not on my card, baby. Not on my card. No. All right. Starting a new one now. What are you playing with, darling? What you doing? You need to go. You want to come over here? Oh, you stole a piece of paper. Here, you want that piece of paper? You can have it. You want it? Go get it. She thinks she's done something, you know. She sneaks off. She said, ooh, I found something. Found a little strip of paper. And she'll run off with it. All right, so this one, I will not go across the top because I'm making it into a little pocket. So I'll just put one on each side at the top, so there's still plenty of room for my little tag that's going to go in a pocket. Okay, so there we go. That heart's probably dry by now. And I will stick it here on the little blue strip. Get my finger good and sticky. And I'm going to let it go off the edge just a touch, because that's, again, it's just different this time. All right, and so we'll pull those dimensionals off and put that on the inside. There we go. There we go. So this is our little kickstand for our pop-up card, or easel. It's an easel card, I believe is what they call it. And that might not be straight. I'm having issues with that today for some reason. I usually do a better job. I mostly eyeball stuff. Sometimes I'll line it up with my grid paper. And actually, I pulled out my grid paper. I finally found it in the old craft room, and I found my grid paper yesterday, but then didn't bring it in here. Oh well. Do with dimensionals. You know what else would be cute right here? Like a little fake stitch. You know how you draw little fake stitches around that? That would be cute. I'm not going to take the time to do that today, but that would be cute. So I'm just going to glue this in the center of that. Got a piece that's sticking out just a little bit there. Actually, the bone folder might do a better job. Of laying that down. Yeah, okay. So we'll stick this in the center, and this time I do want the words to show. I could make this a different kind of card, like it could be a birthday card, not have so many hearts. You know, those could be just little heart-shaped lollipops or something, and put a different sentiment. But I'm going to keep this sentiment. And I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, it just says something sweet for someone neat. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Valentine's Day card. But I think most people, when they see the hearts and stuff, they associate it with Valentine's Day. Alright, so those two hearts at the top and the bottom are not going to show. I didn't go out far enough to the edge. That's okay. Did I leave that 3 by 3? I did. I was thinking maybe I made it smaller. So you might want to come out a little bit further with your heart than what I did there, so that it shows. And then here, I'm going to be about not quite 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And again, I only want to put the glue below this fold line. So in this case, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it here. I'll put it about here and here. And all right in here. And then I'm just going to go right here. And that will take care of it. Could stick my finger in it. It'd be nice if I didn't do that. Okay. Whoops. So, and make sure I'm up there in the view. Okay. So that I don't get glue where I don't want the glue. And I'm going to double check before I push that down, and it seems to be fine. If I have any seepage or not. Let's see if I have any seepage. Nope. And then I'm going to turn it over on this side and put it a little bit with foam folder. So she must have dropped her little piece of paper in a box or something, because she's over there trying to, it seems like she's trying to pull something out of a box. Did you see your paper? Where's your paper? You want it? You want that? Get it. Oh, she's a mess. And then so that goes there, like so. All right, and then the final thing that we need for this card is our little piece that we're going to put inside the card. I need to clean one of these. That's why I said I needed my my paper. So this is a Thanksgiving paper placemat. I need my grid paper. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take get my, all right, and I think I said something about this the other day. You can actually use your take your pick tool and push through to get your hole. I have a tiny hole punch that I think I used instead, so I'm going to use that because I never pulled out my bad mat. Actually, let me pull out my mat. I know where they are. I just got to get to them. I think this one, you can see I've punched holes in this one before. Oh, and I need to clean off these. These would come in handy. I'll leave those out. I need to do this. I need to do some stuff. Oh, I've got so much I need to clean up and take care of. And last year I was trying to get caught up and clean up stuff, and it just never happened. So, all right, where did I put that little scrap piece of blue? I had a little scrappy piece of blue that I laid out. And of course now it is nowhere to be found. Okay, well, let's see if I haven't, ooh, just lost all my little scraps. Let me stick that in there, my little box. Where's my little box of scraps then? Okay, there's my envelope. There's my little box. Oh, okay, it got buried. There's probably another little blue scrap in here that I can use. There is. I'm sure there is. say, I'm sure there is. Please be a scrap of blue in here. Oh, okay, well, that's not very big though. That's not long enough. That is not long enough. Oh, where are you? Because I had a piece. I had a strip of that blue. And now, it fall on the floor. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, gee. I don't know what happened to it. Hang on. That is not a scrap of blue. And this is the purple card. That's a scrap of something else. Those are my stamp sets. It's not here. It's not here. Okay. That piece is definitely too small. I had a piece, I know I did. Let's see what's under my thing. Nope. Although I need to wipe out from under there. It's a mess. Okay. Well, that's just handy dandy where I don't know where it got to. I guess I'll have to cut a piece. Well, two. Okay. Oh, well, there, that might be a piece right there. I see a little bit of blue. Hopefully it's just a little bit and not a big bit. It's kind of, it's a 3x3 piece, but that's okay. All right, so paper cutter. I'm gonna trim it at a 1/2 inch. Sad. Now this is no longer a 3x3 strip. Oh well, I will use it for something else. Because after these Valentine cards are finished, this batch that I'm working on, this is going to be it, because I'm going to move on to something else. So, cut it in half. Oh, I had a lot of this paper out already. Dang, I didn't think about the others, what the other side was. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, so what we'll do is we will fold this in half. And if it's not perfect, it's fine, because that, none of that red's gonna show unless you don't have it lined up halfway decent. Okay, and then I'm gonna put glue on it and just barely put it on the edge there. You don't want but just the tiniest bit on the edge. All right, so here's what we do. Put glue all the way to the bottom. You only need some on this side at the bottom, because it's got to be glued down on both sides. So just put the tiniest bit. I'm going to try to scrape some of that off, because it's all right. And put just the tiniest bit there. Kind of try to center it and fold that down. I can come down just a little bit. And I'm gonna get that to dry. All right, and then my Stampin' Up stamp spongy pad that has seen better days. This is my first one, and I've put it through the ringer pretty good. And I'm gonna use my take your pick tool, the pointy piece, and actually this is easier than using a hole punch. This hole punch I can see pretty good because it's a start. I can kind of see it, but my other one is just a little tiny tip, you know, like this. It's a little bit harder to see, but I can actually see if I've got the center and where I want to put it and all that good stuff here. So I'm going to put it right here in the center, and I'm going to squish it down in there because I want the hole to be a decent size. Make sure it's on video. Now, the only thing is it's not all neat and clean and pretty on this side. I'm going to try to use that same hole because that was a pretty deep hole. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. And then just kind of go back the other way a little bit to try to push that down some. Okay, it'll probably get covered up. And I decided to use this Flirty Flamingo. I actually have this aqua color. It was a, and I don't know if this, I didn't look this one up to see if it was still, because it was in colors from some year, I think. I don't know, maybe not. But it's this 3-pack of twine. And so it does have this color in it, but I thought, you know, to incorporate a little bit of the other color, I used the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so I'll cut that off. And it might be a little hard to double it to get it through. I ended up putting mine through my embroidery needle because that hole's actually a little bit tinier than this hole. This looks like this one might work. So I'll push it through. Yeah, it worked. So my hole punch hole that I have is actually smaller than my take your pick tool hole. And that's a little longer than I want. And I'm going to use my sewing scissors, so I'll make sure that that gets cut better than it would. I say that, it's sticking a little bit. Probably need to clean them. They were at my mom's house with the sewing machine at her house. I had a sewing machine years ago, and when I moved from my big house up the road, and after I had to sell the house after my husband died, my kids got big, and I was like, I can't keep this house, and I sold my house, and I got rid of my sewing machine, but my mom still had a sewing machine. She had my scissors too, so there we go. Is that all right? So this was in this one. Put it back in there, and then this is the one for here. We're gonna stick it in here. There you go. So this card is finished. And there's the pretty envelope that goes with it. There you go. Put the lid back on my glue. All right, so we did 2 cards. Took about an hour. So what I'm gonna do, pull the lavender one in too. I'm gonna pull out the one that I had already made because it has the bow on it. Where's this one? We didn't put the bow on it. Didn't take the time to do that. And then the envelope. So I have another one that I'm gonna make like this. Well, no, actually I'm gonna make it similar. So what I'm gonna do though on this one, I'm gonna cut down the edges so it'll fit on here. Ooh. I'm gonna have to put another color behind this because it's not gonna show. So I was just gonna lay it on top and do another one, but not make it a fancy fold like this one. And but use this piece again because I have so many of them. So I'm gonna do that card. I have a card that I'm gonna do with We Just Click. And then, like I said, I'm just trying to use up some of my scraps. I had a bunch of these that were cut out, and I'm going to try to use these up and some of my scraps. I was going to want to use a whole page of this one because I hadn't used one of these except the one I cut down. And I wanted to do another one using this. Okay, so and this is the one I'm going to make it be a not Valentine's Day card. I'm going to try to. So anyway, I will come back and do another video and see how many of those cards I can get done. All right, so you guys take care. Have a good night. Give me a thumbs up, share, share. Text me if you have any questions. Find me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. And if you need any Stampin' Up products, you can search my name for Find a Demonstrator, Kimberly O'Brien, and I should come up. All right, take care. Thank you so much.